Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Matters Monday and happy 4th of July everyone here in the United States. Um, of course, Matters Monday is all about Art Matters by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by Chris Riddell. Just going to fix the camera there for a moment. Um, so we are coming to the end of yet another chapter in this book. And it says, I hope we can give our children a world in which they will read and be read to, and imagine and understand. By Neil Gaiman. The artist has put his name down here as well for Chris Riddell. So that will conclude our library chapter of this book. So, happy 4th of July, everybody. I hope that the Art Matters library part of this book has been um, educational to you, helpful, fun, that sort of thing. Hello, Celine. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Kathleen. Happy 4th of July. Hello, Alex. Hello, Wickabella. I know it's the 4th of July, and a lot of the U.S. Residents are probably either just slowing down from the celebrations or just getting into them. So I can't guarantee how long I'll be on today because of the fact that it is the 4th of July, but we will definitely we will get this done, and then we will try to start on our Fanciful Fantasies by Julia Spiri, and we will be working on the craft room. Hello, Rinka. Welcome. Yes, happy 4th. So we will be starting on the craft room after we are finished with the Art Matters. Now, I did post a message at the top of the chat that Julia is currently having a 50% off sale on her PDFs in her Etsy store. So if you want to purchase some of her stuff but don't want to purchase an entire book out of Amazon, you can definitely do a couple of PDFs out of Etsy. So they are currently on sale for $1.80 each. Well, I hope that you can stay awake for a little while, but thank you so much for coming in and saying hello. I appreciate you. All right, so let's get started with the Art Matters. I'm going to move this over here. We are going to use the Lyra colored pencils because I haven't used them in a while. And I like to be able to use them every once in a while. It is just gorgeous. It's absolutely adorable. I have finished 2 of her pictures so far. Yesterday I just was in the mood to color, so I ended up coloring 2. It was fun. All right, so we're going to start with a little bit of light brown. A little bit darker than that. So we're going to go in with a little bit of burnt ochre. And we're going to hit the base coat on his hair. I did test these pencils on the Julia paper in her book, but I did not test it here in the Art Matter, so hopefully it will work out well. These are the Polycolor. Alright, and hopefully you guys can see everything that I'm doing. Of course, I've still got to make dinner and whatnot too, but it's not dark enough here yet for the fireworks to start. But if they do start while I'm streaming and start getting the dog upset, I will have to run and get her calmed down and whatnot. So I will stop the stream if she gets too agitated. All right, now we're going to go in with a bit of, I don't want reds, I want browns. I know there's a dark brown in here. Where'd it go? There it is. It's like, I know there's dark browns in here. All right, going to go in with some Van Dyke brown into the darker areas of his hair. And I'm going to sharpen this. Get a little bit more of a point. There, that's better. I'm just following the lines that the artist has given us. Because as you know, this is not a coloring book. All of these pictures are the way that the artist saw them and shadowed and colored the way he saw them colored. So, of course, it's not an actual coloring book. So some pencils and some colors just are going to have troubles and issues with it. All right, so there's his hair. So how is everybody today? Have you all had a good 4th of July? For those that are in the US, for those of you that are in different countries, have you enjoyed your weekend and had a good start to your week? So I'm going in with medium flesh. Hello, Brittany. Welcome. All right, so I'm just going through all the shadow areas with the medium flesh. Hello, Calamity. Happy 4th. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. I know for some of you, like I said, it's getting late, so your 4th is almost over. Yeah, I saw your post in Instagram, Sarah, for your fireworks display. That would give my poor dog a stroke. Unfortunately, they do that sort of thing here in the neighborhood, and yeah, they're against the law here in Oregon for the mortars and that sort of thing. but they like to set them off anyway. I was happy to see that you were out in a field. Out here, they do them right over top of our house. Awesome. It sounds like fun. Sounds like you had some fun cleaning and getting the pets ready for the week. Hello, Marilyn. Welcome. Hello, Crashes. Welcome. So I'm going in now with the dark flesh, just at the very edges of the shadow. Just needed a little bit more of a shadow there. So just so everybody that's just coming in knows, Julia is currently having a sale on her Etsy shop. Of course, it's the day after I bought a bunch of things on the Etsy shop, but hopefully you guys can take advantage of it and support our artist of the month. Of course, you can get to her Etsy shop by hitting !Julia in the chat, which will give you a link to her Etsy shop. All right. Now I'm going to go in with light flesh, and we're just going to fill the rest of his face in. After stream, depending upon how soon these neighbors decide to start their shows, I still need to make some supper and that sort of thing. I'm just going to go back to the brown. I'm going to use the medium brown that I used, which is burnt ochre. And we're going to go into his eyebrows here. And I forgot to do his ears with the light flesh. His ears are only partly done. And we're going to take our dark flesh and we're going to move down to his neck. Remember to put the book in there. So after this chapter is the next chapter, which is making a chair, which is all about following instructions and things like that in the world of art and what it means to the writer here. All right, now we're going to go with some blue for his shirt. So I'm going to use aquamarine first. I've still got to do his eyes and that, but I'm just going to get his shirt in here. Just because, and then I'm going to use some oriental blue. Like so. Alright, and then we're going to use this one here, which is true blue. And I'm going to sharpen it up nice and sharp. Get a good point on it. Because the eyes are really small. I'm going to give him some nice true blue eyes. And we're going to take the aquamarine. Like so. And we're going to give him some nice pink toned lips. Because, yeah, he's not going to be wearing any lipstick or anything. There we have him. So let's do the book now. I'm going to start with this one here. I'm going to start with Indian Red. Down the edge of the book. Thank you, Celine. I appreciate that. This is going to be our shadow color. Hello, View. How are you doing today, Pamela? Happy 4th of July. I'll put that shadow in there. Not too worried about it being neat and tidy because we're going to be going over it with the other color. This is just to put that shadow in. And then we're going to go in with, I do believe it's Pale Geranium Lake. Actually, let's go in with the Rose Carmine first. Going right over top of the Indian Red with the Rose Carmine. And extending it into the next area here. Hello, blue skies. Welcome. There's the choo-choo of the day. So I'm just extending this out past where I have the Indian red, building that color up. The reason why I'm bringing it out past it and just feathering it into that white space is because that's where our lightest color is going to go. And we're going to feather that in to our lightest color. Yeah, bronchitis. Ugh. So the next color we have is the pale geranium lake. And we're just going to build off of the colors that are there, coming off of the edges of the previous color. Using a fairly light hand because you don't want to overwork the pages in this book. Otherwise you will have a hole. Now I do know that the hardcover of this book does have a little bit more resilience. So if you do have the hardcover, you can definitely add more color. You can work those pages a little bit more than I can. Just wanted to throw it out there, just a shout out to the wonderful ladies that started the Spiri Julia in July last year, that introduced me to the wonderful art of Julia Spiri. And that was Shell Arty and a whole bunch of different wonderful, wonderful people of the YouTube community. They just did an awesome job last year, and I was so thrilled to be invited and so thrilled to find a artist that I didn't have a lot of art from. So, lots of tea, yes, lots and lots of tea and lots of water. Keep yourself hydrated. Bronchitis is no fun at all. So there's our book cover. Now we're going to do our book pages. And we're just going to use the cream for that. Just very loosely, just to give it a slight tinge of color. And then we're going to go in with our gray. So this is a cool silver gray. And we're just going to put a little bit of it on some of the marks made for pages so that you can see the separation of the pages. Just gives them a little bit of a shadow. Like so. Yes, last year was so fun. It was. It was a lot of fun. And like I said, they introduced me to the artwork of Julia Spiri, and I thank them very much for inviting me to be a part of that event and for putting it on and introducing Julia Spiri to the um, community for those of us that had never seen her work before, because it was fantastic. So I'm just faintly putting in some books here, just some faint colors in the background. Yes, the messages in it are wonderful. It is such a cool book. And both Neil Gaiman and Chris Riddell did a fantastic job in the message that gets out, the images within the book, all that sort of stuff. Thank you. Okay, so what is chair 33? So I'm just very lightly putting the colors in. I'm not worried about them looking like books, just looking like the backs of a series of book. Oh, yeah, making a chair. Okay. Yes, this is the next chapter to the book is making a chair. And it is going to be a little bit of fun. I wasn't looking at that page yet. You're all jumping ahead of me. Yes, making a chair. Yes, he is looking at it for me. He's reading the manual right now going, yeah, I don't know. Don't know about this. Why are we doing this? Yes. Yeah, my favorite place to be as a child was the library in, any of the schools I was in. We didn't have an actual library in town because I lived in a very small town, but we had the school libraries and they were always a wonderful place to be. Very, very secure, very safe places to be. Now making a chair is waving at you. All right, so there we have our image for today. Again, it says, I hope we can give our children a world in which they will read and be read to and imagine and understand by Neil Gaiman. I'm going to switch over to the main camera here so you can see the picture a little bit closer, a little bit better. And there we have our little boy in the library. Yes, absolutely, I understand that. Yeah, I haven't been to a library in quite some time, but and the page that we're going to do today from Julia Spiri is out of Fanciful Fantasies, and it is, who's ready? Who's ready? That would be something that you would probably have to talk to Adobe about. So we're going to color the craft room. It is the craft room. So that is what we're going to color today. We're going to color the craft room. Don't know where we're going to start, but so we've got a set of Copic 72s here. We've got a wonderful sewing room with a lovely little kitty kitty. Where to start? Where to start? Coloring books and albums and colored pencils. So the papers, we can do that. My handy dandy color chart here. So what color should we do the paper holder? Because the papers are going to be all different colors. Let's switch you over here. So we're going to start down here in the paper holder. So this thing here is our paper holder. To get updated information, it is always best to go to the manufacturer or the programmer of said programs to get the updated information. So if you're having issues with the library carrying updated information, there's always contacting the manufacturer of said information, and they will get you the newest tutorials. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of orange yellow. And we'll do the top part here orange. It's going to blanket cover this whole area. And then we'll go in with a darker orange and fill it in. Absolutely, Amazon sells some really good tutorial books. Libraries usually only carry what libraries are donated because they are a non-profit, especially the public libraries. They are a non-profit building, so institution. So they carry what they are donated. Sometimes you have to jump out and do things on your own when it comes to finding information. All right, now we're going to go in with dark orange. Ay, 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 yeah. That's got to be interesting view, or Pamela, sorry. Um, being in a new area for the 4th of July and hearing all the yahoos and I fully expect the neighbors down the street to set off some mortars fairly soon, so I'm waiting for the dog to lose her poor little brain. So if you just came in and you have not taken a look at Julia's artwork before, or want to purchase some of her artwork but don't want to commit to an entire book, she does have an Etsy store. It's exclamation point Julia, and she is currently having a 50% off sale on her Etsy store. So if I can enable you to support the artist, I will. So make sure that you go take a look at that if her artwork is something that you would enjoy doing. And this page is in her Etsy store. All right, so there we have some orange. Hello, Joyce. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that you know, like my dog does horrible, absolutely horrible with the noise. I like the way this looks, so I'm going to do it all the way down, and then we'll do different colors for the paper inside the envelope, the paper holder. So I'm just going to carefully make sure I don't color over the papers. It looks so bright and cheerful. I was really hoping it would rain yesterday so that the ground was a little bit damp in case fireworks go awry. I don't want anything lit on fire. Yeah, yeah, I slammed a cupboard too loud next to her and she went running off. Mine does too. She does not like loud noises whatsoever. So the color I'm using is, of course, orange yellow. For the lighter colors. And then we're going to use no. No, she's got some PTSD and she's a senior now, so I just put her thunder blanket on her and sit with her until she's calm again. I don't like giving her things if she hasn't prescribed them or had the vet say, okay, this is what you give her. It's just my luck. It will be the wrong thing. So now I'm going through with the dark orange and just putting in some shadow on the edges here. Oh, that's good, Jen. Hello. Hello, Jen. I missed you coming in, dear. Well, I'm glad that it was quiet there. Gave Chiefers a break. Although it's not quite midnight there, so we may be speaking too soon. They have a tendency to light them off until after 1 o'clock in the morning here, so they have very little consideration for anybody else. Just going to put a little bit behind that cardstock there, just to put a shadow behind it. Oh, yeah, no, she's a big baby, and she just wants somebody to sit with her and tell her it's okay. The Thunder blanket has been a huge help, and all it is a child's weighted blanket. Because she's such a big girl. A dog's Thunder blanket or a Thunder coat or a Thunder shirt was too small for her and didn't do anything for her. So I had a coupon for the weighted blanket about a year and a half ago, and I bought it for her because, like I said, fireworks are not her friend. Thunder and lightning is not her friend. So I wanted her to have something to cover up and relax. Didn't know they made weighted robes. Yeah, I know a lot of people with the weighted blankets. They really enjoy them and they're very comforting. And we had a thunderstorm here and it really freaked her out. That's why I was looking at the thunder shirts for her. It just didn't cover a dog her size. So, child's 10-pound blanket and off I go. So now I'm going back through with the yellow orange, just blending it all together. Like so. Alright, I put that in the wrong spot, but that's okay. Hello Dawn, welcome. Oh, nice. You are not late. You get here exactly when you need to be here. My Ebo twin. Yes. Shiloh weighs about 120 pounds. Alright, so let's start on the papers. Going to start with violet. Just going to do these ones in the back here with some violet. And then we're going to use this one here, which is light violet. Can you tell the theme of this pocket? And then we're going to go with this one here, which is a bit of Delft blue. Yes, actually it is. Shyla's mother was wild wolf. So yes, she is a wolf. Going through with the Delft blue. And I'm not covering the whole thing. I've outlined the edges and I'm putting in that shadow. I'm going to do the same thing on the light violet and the violet here. And then we're going to take, which one's this? I don't want dark violet. I'm going to take a little bit of blue violet. Shyla's breed is a wolf hybrid. She is a wolf Malamute mix. Her mother was purebred wolf. Her father was purebred Malamute. Her mother was a wild wolf. And when they had to exterminate her, because they were trying to eliminate the puppies from their land, the farmer well, the farmer didn't have a choice. He didn't know there was pups in the den, and she went after him, so he had to actually shoot her. And when he shot her, the pups came out of the den, and they took them into the Humane Society, and we adopted one. Yes, Shannon loves the Chiefers. She likes small dogs. I don't know why. So we have our purples going on there. So this one here is also going to be purple. So let's do this one a light purple with a dark purple spotting. Or no, let's do it in more of a red purple, the red violets. Let's go that way. So let's start with red violet. And then we'll use the dark purple spotting on it. Or maybe some yellow. What do you guys think? It's really small, so it's hard to avoid the spots. So I'm just going to go right over top of them, and then we'll add the spots in later with some gel pen as we get closer to finishing the book. Or the page, I should say. Not the book. So I'm going to take a little bit of magenta. Oh, nice. I hope you can find one. Blenders are a great thing to have. So I've got the magenta here, and I'm just going over the corners and down here where it's overlapping, giving a bit of a shadow. like so. Alright, so what color should we do the pretty flowers? I think light blue would be the best one for that. And then we'll do the little flowers in pink. A lot of fireworks are still going off there. Yuck, I'm sorry. Yeah, Shyla is amazing. Alright, so we've got light blue. And we're going to try to be careful and not go over the flowers too much. We may do the flowers in a yellow or a pink. And we'll take a little bit of dark blue and or medium blue and do the shadow from the envelope overlap there. Actually, I'm just going to put a little more pressure on the blue crayon here. Same here in the corners. Because this is thick cardstock paper, so. That is awesome, Dawn. Well, happy belated birthday. I think I said happy birthday to you on your birthday on stream, but I can't remember. Just gonna fill this in a little bit more. It's been an interesting month so far. Or past couple of months. Alright, I'm going to take a pink. Yes, it's the good stuff. There we go. And we'll use a bit of gel pen for the centers. Now this one here, we're going to use some greens. So we're going to start with light green. And we're just going to go over the entire thing with the light green. And then we're going to take a Viridian. Nice. Good to know. So I'm just going to go down the edges of the Viridian. Put in that shadow there. And then we're going to go through the detail lines here. Like so. And then we have our green cardstock. Just going to put in a bit more of the shadow. so. Yeah, absolutely. Well, in the 90s there was a lot more computerization than there was in the 70s and 80s. So now I'm going to go in with the Pink Matter Lake. And we're going to fill in this one here. And I'm not going to worry about the design on it because I'm going to come through with the gel pen as we get closer to finishing the page and put those details back in. And then we're going to take, I think dark flesh will do it, for our shadow. Like so. So there is our first compartment all done. The next one I think we should do is this one here with the boxes. So let's start by doing the wall color behind it. And I'm going to do that with burnt ochre. So I'm just going to very lightly coat the entire cubby hole here with the burnt ochre. And we'll go through into the shadow areas and add some different shadow colors. And then we will go over it again with the lighter tone just to fill it all in. So while I'm doing the wall in the back, let's figure out the colors for these lovely boxes. This one has hearts on it. And this one here has little eyeballs on it. And this one has squiggles on it. I'm going to take darker brown tones. I think this one here, yes, dark sepia. And I'm just going to go around the edges, giving that feeling of depth and shadow. Get that in there. Yep, For cooking. That's your story and you're sticking to it, have you? Alright, now we're going to go back in. So that was sepia that I used for the shadow. Now we're going to go back in with the burnt ochre again. Awesome. I'm pretty sure this was the color I used. So the further back you hold your pencil, the lighter the pressure is that you can put on the page. I have that ability holding my pencil up close, but I do find that sometimes holding it further back, I can even put down a lighter hand. But even up close, like right down here, I can still put very little pressure on the pencil. I just find that holding it back here does give me the ability to put even less pressure on the pencil. Are you going to bed, Dawn? Good night. Hopefully you get some rest with all that booming around there. I know it can be difficult to sleep when you've got so much noise around. Yeah, sometimes it really does adjust the feeling in the hand too. Like especially if you feel that sometimes with coloring you get hand fatigue really, really quickly. Holding your pencil back a little bit more and loosening the pressure off of your hand does give you that relaxation. That was a little bit of light ochre. All right, guys. So what color should I do the boxes? I'm going to take the Splendor pencil. This is the blender, the Lyra blender. I'm just going to get rid of some of the white spot here. Brighten that color up just a little bit. So I'm not actually changing the color of the pencil pigment that I put down. What I'm doing is I'm eliminating the white spot in the pigment, which makes that color more solid and makes it pop a little bit more. The white spot in the page, in the pigment, does dampen that color down quite a bit and makes it not look as bright. Good night, Dawn. Sleep well, dear. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to start here. All right, so we're going to start with the little one up here at the top with the hearts. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of, let's take a look. Let's do this bright pink here. Some Rose Madder Lake and some light carmine. So I'm going to start with the light carmine for our shadow areas. I'm going to turn on the light so I can see what I'm doing. Blue sharpen things here. Yeah, I think this one down here would be really cool blue, or this one. This one here has hearts on it, so I'm gonna do it in pinks. And we'll do the little hearts in gel pen, glitter gel pen, after we get finished up on the page for the day, and that way I can let it dry before I rub it all off with my hand. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's just a lot of money that you're lighting on fire, basically. But it's fun for some people, and that's perfectly fine. My only issue with them is the ones that people light off here that are not legal and are dangerous to light off over top of people's houses, and really dangerous for pets because they're scary. They're not very smart about them out here sometimes. You know, I like the mortars when they're set off in the proper setting, you know, and done with care and safety. Not around my dog, not around my pets, not over my house. That's where I draw the line. Don't like them going off over top of my house. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the Rose Madder Lake. And again, I'm just going to go right over top of the little hearts, but I'm just going to do it very lightly so I can still see them. So when I go through with the gel pen, I'll be able to see them. I'm going to put a little bit more pressure on the areas that they don't have hearts down here. The ones up here are really, really tiny, so it's a little more difficult to. And then just going to lift my hand, keeping that dark color. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same here. They go up to Washington to get them. Yeah, it's illegal here too. Yeah, a lot of people just go up to Washington to get them. Yeah, in Canada you couldn't have them unless, unless you went to a fireworks display put on by a professional, um, with licenses and all that fun stuff. All right, so this one here I'm going to do in cobalt blue. But I'm going to do the spots first with a white, and then I'll go through later with a little bit of gel pen to put some color in. So I'm going to start with the white, blocking out those little eyeball type orbs. And we'll finish up this square here, and then we are going to call it an evening. And we'll go back over the art matters for today. And we will continue the rest of this page on Wednesday. All right, so now I'm just going to go into the shadow areas with the dark blue. Bringing it up into the corners, around the edges. Same with under here. So with going over it with the white, when I go over it with the blue, you're still going to see a bit of the blue, but it's not going to be as dark as the rest of the dark blue or the rest of the light blue when I get to the light blue areas. And you can just readjust it afterwards. Alright, now we're going to take the light blue. Let's put this one back. And we're going to use light blue, literally. And we're just going to go over and as you can see, the white areas that I did cover stay pretty much white. Just going through and getting those edges there. Putting in a little bit more of that shadow. And blending that deeper shadow in. Like so. Yeah, if you go over it with the white pencil first, it'll pop it out a little bit. Oh, what am I missing here? Oh dear, yes. Yes, Kathleen, your evening is going to be very loud. You guys are all funny. All right, so this one here, and we're going to do in the greens, but we're going to go with our tealy greens, our aquatic kind of colors. So let's take a look and see where our teal kind of colors are. So we've got sea green here, and I think this one, no. And this one is peacock blue. That's a little too blue. This one here. And we've got aquamarine. So let's start with these ones. And we're going to do the box down here. We're going to take our cream tone. You guys are funny. We're going to take our cream tone and we're going to fill in the zigzag on this box. And we're going to do that first, just so that it doesn't get covered up too easily. Now you could go and do this part, cover over it, take your eraser and remove it. But I just find it's a little bit easier to put down the color and let it stand out from the other colors. Just when you go over it, be really careful that you use a light hand so that yellow stands out against the green. Because you are going to go over it. These are very, very small areas. You are going to go over it. However, if you use a light hand, that yellow that you put down with a heavier hand is going to stand out more than the green, if that makes sense. Well, that's why we're here. We don't grow up. Now I'm going through with the aquamarine. I'm getting right up into that yellow, just very, very lightly, putting a little more pressure into the green area below. And because I used a medium to heavy pressure on that yellow, the only place that that blue is going to show up is in areas that I may have missed with the yellow. The yellow itself is going to protect most of that zigzag from the blue, except for in areas that I may not have had full coverage. Putting a medium to heavy hand on a pencil when you're using it flattens the tooth of the pencil area. So when you go over it with another pencil, you're not going to get as much of that other pencil adhering to it unless you miss an area like I did right there. Just make sure that you lift your hand and do it very light over top of the area that you used a medium to heavy hand on. And it will just glide right over top of it. Oh, then I'm 2. If we're only as old as we act, then I'm 2. Because I do 2 really well. I'm the terrible 2s. Ooh, yeah, Davissa, you might want to reconsider that one. Alright, so I've got the Splendor pencil here. I'm just going to blend in the areas of the box, making that color pop right out. Now with the Splendor pencil, I am going in between the colors. I'm not going over top of the colors, because if you drag that color over top of your other color without wiping it off, you will blend that color into your lighter color. So it's best to finish blending one area, wipe your blender, and then go into the next. So that you don't blend colors into colors that you don't want them to be blended into. And then you just take your blender, let's wipe off the green, make sure that it's clean. Now if I wanted to in this area here, I could take my eraser and erase the blue off the yellow, but I'm not too worried about it. Now we're going to blend the blue going in between the white spots. Like I said, because I don't want to put that pressure and that color onto those spots. Another reason why you use white pencil on white paper is when you are doing a background, for example, if you don't cover your object that you want white, and then you do a background, and that background, say you're doing it in pan pastels or inks, that background color can get onto the paper area that you want to remain white, and it will stick a lot more than if you had a layer of white pencil on it. Yes, and end up with mud. So this one here, I'm just going to do the whole thing because I didn't separate from those heart areas, but I did lighten my hand. So when I go over it, it's going to show lighter in the areas that the hearts are. So those black areas from the ink of the page are going to stand out a little bit more. So we know where those hearts are when we put the gel pen on them. Good night, Jen. Sleep well. Hello, JJ. Welcome, welcome. All right, so there we have our two little areas. And like I said, I am going to call it a night early because it is the 4th of July. And I do have to get the dog prepared for the upcoming chaos-ness. I'm just going to blend this in as well. And remove that white spot over here as well, getting that nice and bright. Oh, there we go. I'm a little late. The mortars are starting to go off. Hopefully, she doesn't start panicking yet. She lifted her head at that one, but didn't go sprinting off yet. Alright, so I'm going to switch you over to the main camera. Like I said, after we're done the page, we'll go through and we'll add some gel pen to this one, as well as this one, and wherever else we need gel pen as we go through the page. So that is the start of Julia Spiri's craft room out of Fanciful Fantasies. And I think next week or on Wednesday we'll be doing 2 or 3 more of these. I would like to have it all done by Saturday, by the end of Saturday, so that we can start on a new one on Monday. Of course, Art Matters was the final page of the library chapter. And it says, I hope we can give our children a world in which they will read and be read to, and imagine and understand, by Neil Gaiman and Chris Riddell. The next chapter is Making a Chair, and of course it will start with a long read. Yes, yes, I do that too. I do that as well, JJ. Testing out different pencils with those little tiny pictures is always fun. All right, guys, thank you all very much for coming. I do hope that you have a fantastic 4th of July. For all of us that are just starting with the fireworks, be safe. Make sure that your fur babies are well taken care of and well sheltered. And for all of those out there that are setting off fireworks in neighborhoods, please be mindful of people's pets as well as people with PTSD and other issues with mortars. With that, I say thank you all very much for being here. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. Of course, this not only helps us with our self-esteem, but it also helps us with our analytics and gets new people to come and view our channel. Absolutely, JJ, absolutely. And of course, always, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Happy 4th of July. And I will see you again on Wednesday. Until then, bye-bye for now.